So the first step of this very loose recipe is get these out of the freezer, open them up, put them on a pan. Just like what the instructions say on the box, which is always good. As many or as few, every one of these versions that I'm gonna make today make enough for 8 of these hash browns. I'm just gonna do a few today to show you some options, but then you just gotta look at the bottom of the box. And it says, for best results, cook in the oven, 425, 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna pop those into the oven at 425 for 8 to 10 minutes, as that handy dandy box says, just until those are golden brown and beautiful. So while those get going, I'm gonna get to work on the first version of these loaded hash browns. And I couldn't start this off without doing basically a loaded baked potato. Does that sound good? Yeah. Honestly, if you wanted to, you could serve this up next to a steak or something. Absolutely delicious. It's also a really great appetizer if friends are coming over. So I'm gonna make, obviously, some bacon, because a baked potato isn't a baked potato without some little bacon crumble on there. Now, I've got a few strips here, and I'm gonna add it on into a cold skillet. This is my #1 tip when you are making bacon, is you wanna start it in a cold skillet or in a cold oven. That allows all of the fat in that bacon to slowly render out, and then it will start to crisp up. Sometimes if you put bacon in a hot pan immediately, what happens is that caramelization on the outside almost locks the fat in. So you can end up with somehow both overcooked bacon, but also fatty, kind of like flabby bacon, which is not exactly what we want. So doing this, all that fat's gonna render, then it's gonna crisp up and be absolutely beautiful. Now, if you really wanted to save some time, you could also just cook this bacon in the oven. What I do is put it on a sheet pan, maybe line it with a little bit of parchment paper, pop it into your cold oven, then heat it to that 425. Once it's up to temperature, leave it in there for about 5 minutes. You'll have crispy bacon, swap it out for those hash browns, and you're good to go. I feel like that made sense. If it didn't, call me later. It'll be fine. All right, so I'm gonna let that bacon do its thing and get nice and golden brown. We also have some over here, just in case. But while that does its thing, I wanna get to work on those hash browns. So I've got a couple just here that are already golden and crisped in the oven. But we're gonna top them with a little bit of cheese. Because one of the things I love doing with my baked potato is I love a little bit of melty cheese, but then I also like a little bit of like cold cheese on it. Sounds weird, but it's delicious. Stick with me. So I'm gonna add a little bit of cheese on top of those little hash browns. And I'm gonna pop those into the broiler. I just want them to broil until that cheese is golden brown and delicious. So I'm gonna pop those in. Let those start to broil and do their thing. While they do their thing, we're gonna get to work on a creamy mixture. So if you want, you could just do regular sour cream, a classic on any baked potato, but I'm gonna jazz mine up a little bit. So you need about ½ a cup of sour cream. You could also do this with Greek yogurt if you're feeling that. I also really like skyr on my potatoes, which is an Icelandic yogurt, really tasty. Into there, I'm gonna go in though with some garlic powder. This is a great way to jazz up your sour cream and make it taste even better than it already does. So about a ¼ teaspoon of garlic powder is gonna give you a little bit of roasted garlic flavor without having to actually roast garlic, which is a dream. Season that up with some salt, a little bit of pepper as well. And then for a classic baked potato flavor, I'm gonna go in with about a tablespoon of some chopped chives. It is turning into chive season. Chives are those one herb that you planted them maybe 3 years ago. Every year you're like, I don't know if they're coming back, and then they do. And you feel like you can garden, which is not something I'm good at. It's very exciting. All right, give that a good stir together just to get everything combined. If you didn't want to do garlic powder, you could also just do raw garlic in here. It'd be a little bit punchier, only serving among friends, but that's okay. Always a good thing. All right, that is perfect. So I've got my creamy mixture done. My bacon is crispy. I'm gonna go grab those hash browns that have been broiling in the oven. We've got that beautiful melted cheese on top. Just this as is, no one's gonna complain. You put that out, boom, jazzed up hash brown. What a treat. But I'm gonna top that off just like I would a baked potato, I know. So we're gonna go on with a little bit of that beautiful sour cream mixture right on top of those hot little potatoes. Give that a spread out. Then I'm gonna go on top with more cheddar cheese because that's how I like it. Because you get that cold and hot. It makes sense, guys. It's all about texture. It's a good thing. Then I'm gonna just crumble over one of those pieces of bacon. You can chop it or crumble it. You are good to go. We've got all that bacon. You can put it on whole even if you're feeling like it. Then a little bit of those chives because you need green just to prove you're an adult. Like, doesn't that look absolutely delicious? I'm thrilled with the gills. Pop one of those right onto your serving dish. But one baked potato or baked little hash brown is not enough in my opinion. So I'm gonna show you a couple other really quick hacks just to get you eating hash browns literally from dawn till dusk. So I'm feeling good about it. So over here we have got some toppings for avocado toast. Really any sort of thing you could think of to put on toast or bread or a potato, you can put on a delicious hash brown. So I've got some more cooked over here. And I'm gonna do an avocado toast, little baked potato situation or baked hash brown. So I've got those baked hash browns here. I'm just gonna pick up a few slices of some beautiful avocado. Just place those right on top. Just fan out. You can also mash this down if you're feeling it. But again, whatever you can think of, put it on here and it's always gonna be better. Pop a little bit of a poached egg. You could also fry an egg on here. We're gonna pop those down, get those beautiful. Now for me, anytime I'm doing an avocado toast, I always put feta cheese on it because I can't say no. So a little bit of feta. If it rolls off like mine is, you're just gonna eat crumbles of cheese and that's not a bad thing. And then a little bit of chili flakes, just for a little bit of heat, super tasty, really, really yummy. Now, the pièce de résistance is plating one of these little babies right onto your thing next to your little friend, the baked potato guy. Then we're gonna do extra fancy, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. This is where you bust out the fancy stuff. This is where you go a little classy with your hash brown. Guys, I'm having a great time. I love a hash brown. A little bit of salt on there too, maybe on the other as well. A little bit of cracked pepper. And then you get to do one of these and everyone is gonna be like, hello, nurse. Little bit of that egg yolk mixture. Yes, very exciting. All right, now the final one is super, super simple. Again, though, these are just 3 options that literally popped into my head in about 3 minutes while I was thinking about what to do. But I'm gonna show you how to make basically like a bagel and schmear. You know when you go and you want a little cream cheese, a little smoked salmon. So I have got some whipped cream cheese here. I like the whipped one on these because it's a little easier to spread. If you don't do whipped, it can kind of pull the hash brown apart. So I'm just gonna schmear that down with that beautiful cream cheese. I go heavy on the cream cheese because it is me. A little bit of some smoked salmon. You could either use hot smoked or cold smoked. Do a little rumple just so it's nice and pretty. We're gonna go on with a little bit of some red onion. If you wanted to as well, you could lightly pickle this red onion. I like it fresh. Pop that on. We obviously have some capers, which if we are ever without capers in my life, something has gone terribly wrong. We love capers in our house. These are basically just like salty little pickly guys. I'm actually gonna pop this guy over here to get him done. Pop those capers on. Oh my gosh, I'm thrilled. I'm so excited, guys. I'm having a ball. A little bit of lemon juice, and then of course, some fresh dill right for the top. You are in for an absolute treat. Is it a recipe? Not really. It's more of a vibe, but that is classic internet cooking at its finest. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.